Ain't enough for the streets.
Yeah, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Ain't Off for the Streets. Welcome to the Ain't Off for the Streets podcast. You feel me? We got a special guest in the house, a young nigga that's been killing
Ain't
the
enough for the
party game.
streets.
He's been in the city killing shit in Mississauga, ATL, Florida, everywhere. This nigga's worldwide. You feel me? Yo, shout out to
Love,
Kadeem in the building, man. Kadeem was popping, man. How you doing, man?
love. One of my favorite blogs in the city, man. What's going on? Up next. Shout out Up Next. Thank you for having me. What's up, my G?
What's popping, man? We here, man. We good. We live. We live. You know, I always wanted to get you in the podcast because what I'm trying to do with this whole podcast shit, I'm trying to connect with people that's like actually doing shit. People that actually that I built with. You know what I mean? That's doing shit in the city. That's connecting dots themselves and trying to showcase people about you. You know, so a lot of people know who you are. You know, because people like you're kind of like hidden behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Nobody really know you unless they connect the dots with you type of thing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But yeah, how you been doing though? How's life treating you?
I mean, it's a crazy time, but to be honest, this was an eventful year. I can't complain. Like, I just got back. I'm literally on my last day. So this is my last day now of freedom. So now I can actually be out of my 14 days of quarantine.
Oh
Yesterday,
shit.
yesterday was my 14th day. So today now I'm good to go. I'm back out. But I mean, just on lockdown, but I can't complain. Like I said, I was gone for like 2 months. I'm here just enjoying the vibes. I got some time to take it to myself, spend time with the family for the holidays. So it was cool.
Damn, some serious shit. Niggas say they was quarantine, like some next level movie shit. Like for real, for real. When I hear these type of words, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? But yeah, man, because from what I was seeing on your Instagram, you went to ATL. You was all over the place in Miami. So how did that go in ATL? I seen that you had like a whole party weekend out there. How did that go?
No, that was pretty crazy. It kind of worked out because I ended up going to Miami first,
Yeah.
but I had my boys and stuff in Atlanta. So I ended up going to Miami, just to do my networking out there and get my little connected dots out there. But then I already envisioned myself going over to Atlanta afterwards.
Yeah.
So when I knew I was going to Atlanta, when I knew I was going to Atlanta, I'm like, okay, I already had envisioned it in my mind that, okay, I'm going to do some events out there. I'm going to do some hosting.
Yeah.
After chopping it up with these guys, chopping it up with some guys back home, the tastemakers and the event planners back home, we're like, okay, you know what? Let's just make it a whole weekend. Because
Jeez.
like Canada's on lockdown. And it's like, we might as well just do something out here, And everybody's
Jeez.
looking to travel. So we're like, okay. So we just set it up like that. We're like, okay, let's do a whole Toronto meets Atlanta type vibe. So we're just like, all right, let's get some of the tastemakers back in the city. We had some birthdays going on. Shout out Devin Tracy, one of the artists back in from Mississauga.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt Mogul, another event planner. Shout out Brandon Billions, my partner, E-Bone. We had that shit going crazy from Toronto. So we brought some guys from Toronto and we set it up so it was just easy for everyone. We had the hotel packages ready.
Yeah.
We had like the whole itinerary ready so that, my bad for the background. Yeah, we're in the studio with it right now.
Yeah.
We're in the lab with it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some producers working right here too.
Oh shit, so niggas, you full studios,
man.
full working mode, niggas
Stop,
working.
man. We don't stop, bro.
Yo, that's why I fuck with you. That's what I'm saying. You're always on the go. You're always doing something. You know what I mean? I always gotta keep in touch with niggas like that. That's always doing their thing. You know what I mean? You're not the type of nigga that wait for handouts. You get your shit done yourself. That's why I fuck with niggas like that. You know what I mean?
Nah, for real, that's love, man. That's love.
But yeah, your people don't know how hard it is to tour parties. Like especially you have to tour party outside the country. You know what I mean? So how hard was that to tour party outside a whole country, a different city? You don't know nobody there. You don't know the politics. You don't know what's gonna pull up to your shit. Like, you know what I mean? How hard was that?
You know what? It's a real challenge, and it actually ended up being better than I even intended it to be because of how much I know how much of a challenge it really is. Because it's like you said it yourself. You're out there. You don't know as many people as you do in your home city, but it's like the real thing is just reaching out to the people that are good at what they do in their city and letting them know your credentials so that you can bring that fruit and just make it fruition, bring that vibe, those two connections, and just bring it to life. So it was more like, okay, we got what we got going back in Toronto. We know who's coming. We know who's flying now. We know who's celebrating their birthday, who's a part of it. So now it's like, okay, let's get the guys in Atlanta that know what they're doing. Let's get the other promoters. Let's talk with the venue owners. Let's talk with the event planners. Get them on the bill. See where we could, both collab in that sense. So it's like when you do it like that, And it's
It's
like, all
easy
right.
for
And they hear that Toronto's in the city. It's like, okay, it kind of adds that emphasis to it where it's like, all right, let's see what's going on at this venue. Because it's hard, man. You know, I've been doing events for like 10 years now. You know, you can imagine, I'm pretty sure we have all been to a shitty party before. We have all been to a shitty concert before. It's like just getting those people and providing something that they're going to appreciate to actually bring them out of their house, especially during COVID. It's like, you know, you got to do something special for them. But I mean, we made it special, and that was definitely one of my top 5. I've been doing events for so long. That was for sure one of my top 5 experiences club wise, without a doubt. Like we had the whole weekend going crazy.
Yeah, that's facts. I gotta give it to you guys, man. Shout out to all the guys that came with you, MC Ebone, Brendan, all those guys, Matt Mogul. These young niggas been in the game for a minute. Cause I remember from back in the day, cause I used to do all ages as well. You guys used to be with Team Fly or some shit like that from back then. You guys used to do these all ages parties. I remember, you know what I mean? Your shit used to be bumping, you know? Because I used to work with Nice, you know, Nice, P Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I used to work with P Nice. He used to do Canada, Miss America, and shit like that. That's the type of events I used to fuck with him with.
Okay,
But I remember you guys used to do the fly events. All the Mississauga niggas used to pull up. You know what I mean? I'm glad you stuck with the shit and kept on going, and you actually took over the whole Mississauga shit. You know, because I don't know nobody else that was doing parties in Mississauga besides you guys. You know, like for real, for real. So what I wanted to ask you, like, what got you into like doing parties and shit? Like,
damn. Okay, so I'm 26 now. My birthday's actually this month. It's coming up January 18th.
yeah,
So I'd say when I was about 15 or so.
yeah.
15, yeah, I got an early birthday in January. A couple of my guys were probably like 14 to be honest, but I think I was like 15. We got one other guy who might have been 16. We were just like, the fly niggas back then, we dressed nice, whatever. People knew us. We was young.
Yeah.
And like, you know what it is? One of the guys we teamed up with, I think his pops used to do events. So then it was like, I guess he had that little like inspiration from his pops type of thing. So he actually brought it to us and he's like, let's just do a party type of thing. I'm like, you know what? All right. So we all got together. We put together our little money, whatever the case was. We're like, all right, let's rent out a little hall. It was in Brampton. It was like a hall / nightclub type vibe.
Jeez.
Called Trilogy.
Oh yeah.
No more. I don't even know what.
That was your first party. That was your first party.
Yeah, my first event was at Trilogy. It was an all age event.
Hey, weird.
Yeah, we just rented out the spot. It wasn't too much. We had a crazy back then. We were just word of mouth and like Facebook.
Oh shit!
Maybe
and that shit was ran.
I don't even know. I wasn't on that shit as much, but I know niggas had the MySpace, so we was on that.
Yo, that shit was ran. Bare people came out.
Stupid. Made some change. We're like, all right, let's do it again. And
okay.
Kept doing it. Touched different spots, and after that, it was just turned into its own little operation after that.
I know. I noticed you guys turned the whole shit into like a big ass operation. You guys had like celebrities coming out and things like that. So from you doing the parties, how did you get into like the sponsorships and things like that? Because I seen that you guys were getting sponsored by like Black Bottles or whatever it may be. I don't even know the names of these bottles you guys were sponsoring with.
That Remy Martin,
different. So how did you get into these sponsorship deals and things like that?
If it's one thing I could appreciate the most that I've done, despite whatever ventures I decided to take on, it really was doing the events. Because what doing events did for me personally, I always seen the bigger picture. And then as I started getting my foot into certain doors, the vision started to expand.
Yeah.
So it's like, because you're dealing with events, you're dealing with high volumes of people.
Yeah.
You start meeting different people and you start connecting and conversing with certain people. So I would say these events even got me into the music as well, because it's like, you start meeting artists, you start meeting DJs. Artists want to hear their songs in the club, and it's like they know you the guy that's doing the club. So it's like you learn some of their contacts, they get some of your contacts. So it's like when you have something to offer, it kind of helps open the door a little bit more. So then touching on the sponsorships, it's like, yeah, they know you're dealing with high volumes of people. These whole sponsorships is trying to get their brand to high volumes of people. So it's like because they know you're doing that, it kind of makes it a little bit easier in a sense to where, okay, you're providing a spot, guarantee you're gonna expect X amount of people.
Yeah.
You can pitch these things to these liquor companies as they're coming along and as there's, the doors and the opportunity starting to open. And as they see that and you're building with them and you're working with them and, the months pass, the years pass and the credibility starts to gain and they're saying, okay, every time we mess with these guys, they make sure our brand is aware, the brand awareness is there. They make sure they sell X amount of bottles. Like they always fulfill what they're saying. So, okay, next time we work with them, we'll give them a little more and a little more and a little more. So I'd say that kind of really what helps. And then, you know, at the same time too, having the artists, having the influencers in the city, it kind of makes these things easier because it's something to now pitch towards these guys to where, you know, not only is your brand going to be in the venue, but you have influential people marketing your brand, being seen drinking your brand, being seen holding bottles with it. So
yeah, that's one thing. Facts. That's one thing I'll give it to you guys. Your parties and the atmosphere always looks so professional and very like chill. It looks like a good vibe. You always have beautiful women at your shit. You know what I mean? So I was kind of like, I'll give it to you guys for actually holding it down for that long and actually keeping a proper party and a proper look. You know what I mean? So I give you your flowers for that. You know what I mean?
I love.
For sure, for sure. Just to follow up on the question on the answers that you said, because you said from you doing parties, I noticed that a lot of managers, a lot of record labels, people that started record labels and things like that, started from doing parties. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, like that's where you meet most people and things like that. So that's why you would say that's how you got into like management and things like that, right?
Yeah, you know, it gives you the advantage. The reason is because if you think about it, like as a manager, your job is to help make sure artist has a successful show, planning the show, making sure that things are in operation to make the show run smoothly. So coming from an event background where you've been doing this for so many years, it's like, I feel like that's kind of why a lot of these managers, et cetera, do come from event backgrounds, because it's something where they're already, you know, they already know how to operate. They already know how to maneuver in that sense, because it's something where they could work from experience. So it's like these different, like there's even club owners, for instance, like a lot of these club owners, they didn't do events before. They need the guys like us that do the events, that have connections to artists, that can get certain guys or whatever the case into the city. Because it's like, without these guys who do the events, these guys are just, they just have their venues. How are you going to bring people inside? You see what I'm saying? So having that knowledge and having that background and just knowing how to maneuver when it comes to that sense, it really helps gain the credibility when you have that event background to offer.
Facts. So at the moment, are you currently managing any artists? Like, are you still managing artists by any chance?
So right now, this is the first time his name is even getting put out to the public. So I'm going to give just a little sneak preview of his name. His name is Winters, but I don't expect anybody to know him because he's unreleased. But man, he's been going crazy we've been keeping him a secret for the past like couple of years now. He has a lot of stuff that he's been working on. He's actually working with a producer from our city. He's working with a couple people from our city. He even has one girl who's supposed to be working with him as well, who they've even bobbed out with already. They got their little taste of what's going on. So he's just been going at it every single night. He puts in like crazy amounts of hours in the studio. We're just perfecting his craft. So he's gonna be real good when the city sees him. His name's Winters. They're gonna know him. They're gonna know for sure.
Oh, so that's a drop right there, man. That's an exclusive.
Ain't enough for the streets.
That's an exclusive.
I'm giving them a little sneak preview. No one has heard of that yet, so this is a little sneak preview right now.
I feel you. You don't want to hurt the bag for real. Like for real. But like what I wanted to ask you, like what got you, like what made you want to be a manager? Because being a manager is not an easy job, right? Because you kind of like somebody's father somewhat, you know, like it's like you gotta like the banker, the loan shark or some shit. It's like you have to look after them like long way, and they kind of like rely, because I'm trying to do this whole management thing. I have to step out of it because I felt like people actually put their whole career and your whole life in your hands. Like, how do you feel about that? What made you get into that?
Okay, well, you know what? We'll do a play-by-play. So before I even get into that part, I'll say like anyone who knows me close, and like the people who are close to me, they'll know the type of guy that I am. And like they even make jokes, like they'll call me like the family man type shit. Like I don't have no kids or anything like that, but like they just know how I operate. I'm not to say necessarily, like I'm not necessarily even the oldest, or in the case in the group, but I'm just kind of like, I wouldn't say big brother, but then at the same time, it's like, you know, Kix is going to be there for you type of thing. You know, he's going to be in your corner when shit gets rough, whatever the case is, he's going to be there for you. He's going to be in the back. So it's like, first off, to even be a manager, I'd say you have to have certain characteristics. You have to be willing to put people before yourself. Like, if you have an artist that's famous and, you know, he can't just go everywhere and you got to go get something done for him, like, you just got to be willing to do certain things. So you got to be willing to have that trait where, like, yeah, sometimes you got to put someone even before yourself. That's one trait to have. But I'd say kind of what even got me into management, you know, I tie it back My bad again for the background noise, but these guys are working, going crazy. But
Yeah.
one thing I'd like to say again, if we're talking about management, what really got me into it, I'd say is I'll put the credit back onto the events, because it's like once upon a time in my life, I thought I wanted to be a paramedic. Like back in high school, I'm
Yo,
taking
same
classes
here
like
too. Yo, same
chemistry.
here. I kind of wanted to be a
Yeah, like
paramedic too.
I thought I wanted to be a paramedic. I'm taking classes like chemistry because I think
No
I'm gonna
cap.
try to go to college to
Yeah,
take, chemistry was like the prerequisite to get into, whatever classes
that's
that you
true.
gotta take to
Facts.
become a
Yeah.
paramedic. So I'm like, all right. And like I said, back in high school, I'm doing these events now to where your market and your network starts to grow. So now that my network's growing and I'm getting into certain doors and I'm connecting with certain people, it's like now, like I said, the artists are starting to want to get onto my board. So it's like now that they're coming, connecting with me and I'm connecting with them, like I said, they're gonna want to hear their stuff in the clubs because they know I'm the guy who's operating these events, has the connects to the
Yeah.
DJs, etc. So now it's like, yeah, you start messing with your artist. And I had a guy that I wouldn't say I managed, but I would be that like mentor in a sense to help him do what he needed to do. This was back when I was like 18.
Yeah.
And he was doing his little thing and he got a little buzz within the city, but some stuff happened with him.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, he had to fall back. But I mean, that's kind of what got me into it. So like I said, I wouldn't say I was necessarily managing him, but I was more just helping him out, make sure things. And then, like I said, I got the outlets, I got the network, I got the DJs. So as that starts growing and you're working with this guy and you're helping him out and you're doing some of the talking for him, now your network's building even more. Now you're meeting some A&Rs, you're meeting some label execs, you're meeting some accountants, you're meeting some lawyers. So it's like once your network starts to grow and you start to realize that, okay, you know what? I like this. It's my fit. Let me start taking it more and let's start taking it more serious and really put my foot in that door and travel to make myself in those proper networks that I'm obtaining that network and put myself in these atmospheres. So it's like I said, I'm gonna put the credit back on the events. It's really what got me back into that motion,
Dope. Do you find that like as yourself being a manager, right, and you work with an artist and you putting countless of your like countless efforts and money and your resources into that artist, do you find that when you meet an artist that you really like, do you find that you have to put them under contract, the contract has to be right before you even do anything with that artist?
Here's the thing about me personally. Like I said, I'm the type of guy I am. If you're close to me, you're gonna feel the love off the rip.
Yeah.
I personally have never made paperwork for an artist that I have worked with or producer that I have managed. Me personally.
Yeah.
Would I advise other people to do that? No. Me personally, did I instill that? Because what made me, especially in these earlier stages of my life, in the younger stages of my life, before, there's talent, there's going to be talent everywhere. There's going to be a homeless man who knows how to play the guitar that can sing. There's talent. This is a big world we live in. There's going to be talent everywhere. Obviously, some talent is going to be better than others, but realistically, there is talent everywhere. So what makes me more inclined to actually work with an artist is I got to see those traits in them too.
Yeah,
I got to see if they're a committed person. I got to see if they take their craft just as serious as I'm going to take it. Because realistically, they need to take it more serious than me.
Than you do. Yeah.
That's going to motivate me to take them serious and to do the proper things that I got to do. If I'm doing certain things and they're taking it as a joke, it's like, how could I be putting up money in excess amount of time if they're going to take it as a joke? So it's like, I got to see those traits in them to where, okay, they have a sense of integrity. They got a sense of morals. They got loyalty. They're family orientated, or they're really down for the team. Those are the type of guys that I have worked with or that I would like to work with because, like I said, being a manager, like you really put in this person before yourself. So it's like the type of love that I'm going to have for this person. If they going to like not appreciate it, then it's like I really am going to ride for you to that end, like to the end. Like if I'm putting this, you're basically an investment. It's like you got to protect your investment. So it's like if I'm doing all of this, I'm making sure you're safe. I'm making sure like nothing can happen to you. You're basically my investment. So it's like I'm gonna put double the amount of what they put in. So it's like I got to see that from the jump. But at the end of the day, it's business. So am I gonna tell people to necessarily take the route that I would rather do? No. At the end of the day, people switch, people go through whatever they go through. So it's always good to have the paperwork, right? It's always good to have the business, right?
Yeah. Okay, definitely. Like you said, it's a hit or miss because sometimes you put people on the contract and they still switch on you. You know what I mean? And what you gotta do with the paperwork, take them to court, a whole bunch of shit. You really do.
Exactly. So it's
You know
like,
what I mean? So either way, contract. I feel like the contract is just a piece of paper that's just where you have to go to these legal troubles, hire lawyers just to get shit done, just to get any money out of shit
and
that
it's like the process and the amount that you're spending in that. It's like,
it's not even worth it
unless,
at
yeah,
the
if
end
you're
of the
really,
day.
unless this artist is doing numbers, it's like, is it even worth it? It's like,
Yeah,
so
you're right. You're right. So you definitely right about that. You definitely have to kind of like make sure the artist or wherever you working with the characters right before you even want to do any type of work with them. So you definitely right about that.
yeah.
So before you work in art with an artist, so like you were saying, you were saying the character and loyalty and all that stuff. Do you actually go for the music as well? Do you want the artist to have a sound? Do you have a sound that you're looking for? Is it like a hip hop, Afro beats, R&B vibes? Like what catch your ears these days?
Here's the thing about me. I personally don't, sing or anything like that, but I manage a producer as well. I work with a producer. His name is Binz. He definitely has a lot going on too. He works with a lot of different guys. He has some placements as well.
Yeah.
But the thing about me is I used to play the piano when I was younger. So I got like a musical ear.
Yeah.
I don't like being the guy that has to be the artist. You gotta pick what you're good at and stick to what you're good at.
Yeah.
But I have a musical ear in a sense to where I'd say I could tell what's good from what's not good. And like what I personally listen to
Yeah.
sometimes isn't even what I would want to manage. I have a certain flavor for music and depending on the mood I'm in and the vibe I'm going for,
Yeah.
vibe I'm feeling. But there's one thing what you like, and it's another thing what the world's gonna like. So it's like
Facts.
I look at all aspects. I look at, okay, is this person marketable?
Yeah.
That's one thing. Because it's like, yeah, you could be a super artist, but if you're marketable now, it's like being an artist is just one portion of the business. That's just one small revenue. Like, yeah, guys have streaming numbers and they make a lot of money off their music. But there's so much more to look towards now. Once you're an icon, a marketing icon. Once you're a marketing icon, you can do whatever you want. You can open your own liquor. You could model for different brands. You could open up your own company. So it's like I look at these little things. I'm
Yeah.
picking which ones are gonna work for these artists or
Okay.
producers I'm gonna take upon. And if I could envision those things and they got the package things, like, because at the end of the day, good music is gonna sell.
Yeah.
So for sure, I want to hear at least some level of quality. But
Yeah.
it's like I said, at the same time, there's talent all over the world. So it's like, are they going to have those extra qualities? Are they driven? Are they a goal oriented type of person? Are they able to handle those speed bumps and just shake it off and keep going? Because despite whatever you're doing, there's going to be speed bumps. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes guys drive themselves crazy. We hear about it all the time, overdosing and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's like they got to be a mentally strong person as well, knowing that there's going to be times where you're going to want to quit. There's
Facts.
gonna be times where you're gonna get discouraged, but it's like, are you gonna be able to shake that out? Are you gonna be able to keep going? So it's more qualities. I'm looking at their music, I'm looking at their talent, yes, but their qualities to me are just as important as well.
Okay, I see. I see. I like the way you look at things. When you look at the artist, you don't just say, "Okay, music's dope. Let me sign him to push the music." But you look at him more as like a brand. Damn, what can I do with this guy? Can I have a liquor license? Can I have a liquor with him? Can I have a business? Can I start a clothing line? Because you're looking at it more as a brand, as a business type thing, which is really dope coming from you as a manager, right? You're not really just looking at the music side of things, right? So that's really good advice for all managers that's gonna be listening to this. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, so what would you say like when it comes to like music right now? You went to Atlanta, all right? Like, are you currently like looking at artists in the states? Or are you just looking at artists, focusing on artists in Canada? Like, what do you see the difference between American artists or the whole American vibes compared to the whole Canadian vibes?
One vibe that I'd say is the major difference is I feel like Canadian, Toronto, we a little bit more conservative.
Yeah.
We're on a we don't want to be the annoying person where it's like, yo, like some guys are still, in your because you got to do that at the end of the day. Like, I don't knock a guy, like, despite how annoying certain things might be, I'll never knock someone for doing that because it's like you got to get your shit heard one way or
Facts.
another. So it's like
Facts.
if someone's not going to do it for you, you got to do it for yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, hey, I rate the hustle. But it's like overall, at least, I kind of noticed where it's like I feel like Canada, Toronto, we a little bit more conservative to the point where we ain't as in your face. You see what
Yo,
I'm saying? Like when I go to America, like
people are
guys is ready to like, yo, like I was in the club and a random guy just came to me. He's like, yo, you look like you do something. But yeah, I'm from Canada. Like, I don't hear my, he's like, yo, he's like, open your phone. He's like, go to your Apple Music. He's like, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna listen to you because he had a little stuff going. We was vibing. So I'm like, you know what? But like,
this guy cracked me out. This guy said, "You look like you do something. You look fly, bro. What do you do? Yeah, take my business card, nigga." Like that's funny. That's funny.
That's what I'd find the only real vibe. But when it comes to everything else, you know, areas got their sound. At the end of the day, I'm gonna ride and rock with my city from the jump first. Yeah. I mean, it's a big world out there. It's 101 markets to tap into. You got Europe, you got Latin. That's going like you got the Spanish music going crazy right now. The Spanish music, the Afro beats is a whole nother market.
I know Afro pop is crazy. Afro pop is a different vibe. You know, that's the reason I'm able to kind of like connect with guys like you. Because I originally used to live in the States, but I've been in Canada for about like 10 plus years. So I'm pretty much Canadian now, right? Yeah. But, like the way I am, I'm so driven. Like I'm in people's faces. I get a billboard just to be in your face. You know what I mean? I get posters all around the city just to be in your face. Like I'm connected with guys like you because coming from a promoting background, you have to go out there and pass out flyers to people. Come out to my party. You know they just gonna take that shit and turn it on the floor, but you doing it anyways. You know what I mean? So only promoters and people that's like go-getters can understand the American mindset. You know what I mean? It's you really have to be a go-getter, a hustler. I wish a lot of artists would think like that as well. So that's dope how you said that.
And I'm glad I got both the best worlds because I kind of got to live in both eras to where it's like I've seen the transition from more, you know, physical to digital.
Yeah.
At this point in time of COVID, everything's over.
Everything is digital.
Yeah, everything's network based, whatever the case is. But like, it's going back to handing out flyers. Like I had to experience that grind. You see what I'm saying? Like
bro.
Going out caravan a weekend,
with the t-shirts,
so crazy, going to corners, handing out flyers, rocking the shirts, printing cups, you know, everything for that brand awareness. Because we didn't have Instagram. This is before Instagram was even made, really.
That's what I'm saying. You guys was really out there on Facebook with the pictures, Caravana passing out flyers. I used to see you guys on like Caravana. Like for real. Just to like move on with that answer you just said. Now everything is kind of like very much digital, right? You're not even able to do parties anymore. Like I would say that was probably like your number one hustle right there. You feel me? So how have you been able to manage and make a transition to like, okay, damn, I can't really do parties no more. That's all I used to do. Now I gotta like change my whole hustle. How have you been able to like change things to kind of like go and focus on music and things like that?
Well, if we're talking as a whole, I've always been the guy like my family knows, like everyone, like I said, if you know me, you know the type of mindset I have. Like I don't even expect, like the type of mindset I have, I don't even expect other people to have, to be honest, because like I don't let negative anything mess with me. Like I don't care what it is, especially living through certain things and understanding that you really gotta block out negativity if you want positive shit to come in your life. So it's like I don't let nothing slow me down. Like I don't get discouraged. Like I get points like where it's like, fuck, like I'm going so hard. You know, I don't see the results I'm getting. But like other than that, like I don't realistically get discouraged. So it's me personally, I can speak from a better standpoint because it's like even with COVID, I didn't care. Like I just opened up I just, you know, bought a venue and I didn't even have it for a year and COVID hit. But it's like despite how much that sucks, I'm not gonna let it affect me to the point where I'm just gonna sit around and mope around and not move. Like people were calling me crazy for traveling during the pandemic. I don't give a shit. Like I got shit I gotta get done. I'm not gonna let nothing slow me down. I gotta do what I gotta do. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's like if we're talking entertainment, the entertainment definitely took a crazy hit. You know, artists can't do shows, you can't party. I mean, it sucks right now, but at the same time, you know, we went and sold out Atlanta. So it's like we're gonna make something happen
Facts.
one way or another, despite whatever it is. And that's the point where it's like if you want a certain outcome of your life, like everything in life is a sacrifice. If you want it and it's worth getting,
Yeah.
it's a sacrifice. If you want a kid, you're gonna have to sacrifice something. You want to sacrifice your time. You gotta pick or choose. You can't have everything your way.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you want a wife, not to say you can't still do certain things, but it's like
It's a lot more sacrifice.
it's just somewhere you got to give. Okay, your boy wants to go out tonight, and you guys want to party. Nah, you got to sacrifice that. You can't go. You got
Yeah, I can't go. Sorry, but my wife can't go. But I can't go to strip clubs tonight, bro. Like
you got to sacrifice somewhere. So it's like understanding that. You know, I'm not really gonna get discouraged. I'm gonna find a way. You know, I find ways. You know, I'm not missing no meals. I'm still good. I can't, like I said, you know, I can't complain. I know a lot of people aren't as fortunate as me. A lot of people got families and things they feed as well. You know, I don't, you know, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, but I don't have kids that I gotta, you know, feed in that sense, you know. So I can't complain for a second. I found my hustles. I found my ways to make it work. I'm going to Dubai for my birthday.
Yeah, okay, that's what's up. This niggas out there. This niggas out here. I mean, that's why I rock with niggas like you, because niggas like you, even when you take punches, you get up. You know, you get up and still keep going. You find other ways. That's how when people see me doing these billboards or whatever, maybe I'm like, bro, it's COVID. I can't do parties. I can't do shows. What do you want me to do? I gotta find other ways. I'll look into billboards. It's like shit. That's some shit I've been looking into. I look how much they cost. I work out deals with these companies. Not I get shit for the low. You know what I mean? And I flip them shits. You feel me? That's how you gotta move. You always gotta find different avenues when shit stop and keep going. Cause that's the hustlers in us. You know what I mean? We don't stop, we figure shit out. You know what I mean? So I definitely give you that for actually like not stopping.
If it was easy, it wouldn't be glorified. People wouldn't rate your success if it was easy, right? Everyone would have it. So it's gotta be hard. It's that journey that makes it worthwhile, to be honest.
Facts.
It's something I'll always like. If it's one thing that I want someone to get from this whole podcast, it's like no matter what you do in life, there's no route to say do this, you're gonna get rich. It all comes down to how much you like it and how much time you're willing to put into it. So it's like there's fucking rich people that own salons. There's salons that go out of business. There's Walmart, there's Zellers. There's Walmart, there's Target. They basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But one is crushing it and one is going out of business. So it's like, it doesn't matter what you necessarily do. It just matters how serious you're going to take it. How much time you're willing to put in it. And the more you love it, it's not going to feel as much like work.
Definitely.
I just want to be rich. Because if you look at I just want to be rich, you're going to find yourself stressed out all the time.
Yeah, you definitely right about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you up for too long. I got a couple more questions left for you. So what I want to ask you, like, what is the most difficult part about being like a manager? Because as you being a manager, you kind of like A&R as well. Because even when you get the producers, you get the artists together, you kind of have the ears. Because you've been in the club for so long, you know what's gonna be popping. You know what's gonna sound good on the radio. You're gonna be like, nah, put this hook right there. Nah, take that verse off. This is trash. So what's the most difficult part about being a manager or in A&R?
The most difficult part, to be honest, the most difficult part is like a lot of people, what they don't realize is they don't do, like if you have a certain level of, like I said, what usually makes me bring up on these artists is just, you know, their integrity, their characteristics.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's like, I'm going to build a certain bond and relationship with whoever I work with. So because we have that bond and relationship, I see what other people don't see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're basically my boy or my sister or whatever the case is. So it's like, at that point, they don't see the hard times. They don't see the times where the artist is discouraged. They don't see the, you know, all those little times that everything looks so glorified from the public, but they don't see what goes behind closed doors. So I'd say the hardest part is just keeping the whole team motivated. And just at the end of the day, when you accomplish something, it's just human's nature to want to accomplish something else afterwards. So despite however hard you start going or how good you start going, or start getting, or whatever level you start achieving, that human drive in you is gonna want a little bit more. Even if it's just a little bit, it's gonna be a little bit more. So now to achieve that little bit more, you got to keep the whole team motivated. You got to keep everyone level-headed. You got to keep everyone on the same side. You can't have people, because it's not, at the same time, it's human nature to argue, but you don't want those arguments to turn into
fights and shit.
The FUs. You don't want fights happening within the team. You don't want none of that. You want everything to stay positive. You want people to be on the same page. Wow. So I'd say realistically, that's probably the hardest part. Because even though sometimes guys are managers for a while, you don't see who else they might lose in the team. They might lose a producer. They might lose an accountant. They might lose a lawyer. Yeah. There might be shady business going on somewhere within their camp. So it's like just keeping everyone on the same page and everyone loving it as much as you love it and seeing that vision and seeing the outcome that we're trying to achieve.
I feel like managers are so like underrated, you know, because like all you just described right there, that's kind of like a leader. That's like Jesus. You know what I mean? Just leading 12 people to the promised land. You feel me? They don't get as much credit for taking that much that much work on their back, you know? To trying to keep people together. So I definitely give it to managers. I give it to you as well for doing that work with artists and stuff like that. And also, so like, just to move on with my questions, right? Like, who are some of the great artists and producers you work with? Like, have you worked any like famous artists or producers by any chance? Besides, like, you said Wonder Girl. I know Wonder Girl is killing shit right now.
She's one of my favorite right there. She's going crazy. You know, I got
crazy.
Her and her brother. They going crazy.
Facts.
Producer wise, them. I got my producer Bins. He's going crazy. But famous wise,
yeah,
I'd say, shit, the guys I have. It's just so many I don't even know. Like when it comes to the event side of things, like there's so many I don't even know who to start.
Oh, you work with like a whole bunch when it comes to the artists. Okay.
Yeah, that's host. I've worked it. Even if I've middleman agent work with a lot of people. Like if another venue needed a guy and I needed to be the agent in the sense.
Yeah. Facts. Okay, say less. So when you work with artists and producers and things like that, right? One thing I realized about the music business is kind of like, if it's not a hit, like it just get it's like it just gets brushed off under the rug. You know what I mean? So do you find that when you're in the studio working with producers and artists, do you always find that you're always trying to come out with a hit? Like how do you go about when it comes to working in the studio with artists? Do you trying to come out with a hit all the time?
I mean, obviously everyone wants the hit. The hit's the life-changing gem for everybody, the whole team, the artists, everybody. So, but like I said, like me personally, music I like aren't hits. Like they're not the considered Billboard hit songs. Like, yeah, maybe a couple. Like, not that I don't like the song.
Yeah.
The song that I'm gonna bump daily when I'm in my car, or when I'm chilling, or when I'm with people. Like, it's not always that hit song. So it's like, I feel before necessarily even the song that's important, it's the time spent, because you can't please everybody. And dealing with these events showed me how hard it is to please everybody, because you could have a sick event, it could be sold out. 90% of the people will be having the time of their life, believe in stumbling out of their drunk, and then there's going to be 10% it's like, oh, it's too crowded, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you can have an empty ass party, and it's like, oh, no one was there. Like, you can't please everybody. So with that being said, it's like, spend a lot of, as if you're an artist, spend as much time in the studio as possible, touch into genres and fields that you feel like you've never even seen yourself doing. Because there's going to be someone out there that might appreciate it, and something that you might not see as a hit, someone else is going to see as a hit. And a lot of guys that I work with, sometimes it's like they get tired of their music when they're the artist, because it's like they made it, now they're hearing it, and by the time it even comes to get put out, they're bored of it. But it's you can't always feel like that, because just because you don't like it doesn't mean someone else isn't going to like it. If it's not quality, it's not quality. But at the same time, if it's quality, you know, there might be someone, or there might be a market that's suitable for it. So hits are still, of course, important. But I mean, coming from me, like I said, the songs I'm listening to aren't necessarily hits. I like the smooth shit, stuff I can vibe to, stuff I can chill to.
Yeah.
So it's just about creating content in my eyes. So I create that content.
Facts. You're definitely right about that. Also, like, when it comes to this whole music scene, because I'm trying to say Toronto, but you live in Mississauga, and I find that Mississauga and Brampton are are producing a lot of great talents. You know what I mean? People always trying to compare, put Mississauga and Brampton in Toronto. When Mississauga and Toronto is like a whole different city, and they have. To me, I feel like I find that Mississauga produce and Brampton produce a lot better artists than Toronto. But that's just my take on things, right? But like, what's your take on the whole music scene and the GTA, Ontario, like Mississauga, Brampton, Toronto? What's your take on the whole music scene?
See, I like answering a question like this because I can speak from I'm from Mississauga, so I won't necessarily speak on that part too much, but like, obviously it's my city Saga. We got a bunch of guys. We got Riddles, Devin Tracy, Party
Yeah.
Next Door. Like we got
Crazy. That's what I'm saying. It got so many like
I could keep
quality
going.
artists, and there's not that many like politics in the oh from this side. You know what I mean? It's everybody just vibing and this quality that's coming out the city. And I find that people artists from Mississauga could travel too.
I mean, like I said, I like speaking from my standpoint because I ain't coming from no sides. Like I mess with everybody. Y'all can miss me with the politics. Keep that shit to y'all. Keep that shit in the streets. And at the end of the day, if you so street, you should know to keep that shit in the streets. So it's like I don't gotta pick a side. So it's like as a GTA as a whole, Mississauga, Brampton, like
as a whole, like the whole
the
scene.
most talent. Like how could a place realistically, and because I travel, I can realize where it's like, yeah, we got a lot of people in Toronto. Yeah, it's fairly big, but at the same time, when you go to these other states, they got a bunch. Like Atlanta, for instance, it's a big state. Toronto basically has to rep for all of Canada as of right now. So it's like for us to even have this much shine, it kind of already shows how much talent we got hiding in the city. So it's like, I'm glad to see some of the stuff I'm seeing now with these different blogs and things like that, to where we're finally starting to get this shine that we deserve.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see what Toronto and the GTA is like in the next 5 years. Shout out to Drake for putting that light on the city.
Facts. Like, big facts.
We got a bunch of talent, man. There's so much talent going on here. We got athletes on top of it. Like, it's only now where it's being seen because we got that light shined on us. But there's so much that we have to offer. The talent is out of this world. Everyone coming with their own flavor. I'm fucking with it. I'm fucking with a lot of it, to be honest. There's a lot of guys in the city that I fuck with.
Do you have like a couple favorite artists that you like in the city?
Oh man, they see this, they gonna get upset.
Say less. You don't have to say no names.
I mean, I don't mind. Like I said, like
say names then.
Yeah, like I like Benji. Like I like a lot of guys' music, but if you ask me who I listen to, like I listen to.
I talk about Northside Benji.
Yeah.
Yo, Northside Benji's a wave still. I'm not gonna lie on that. This guy's like a superstar. I feel like you just need a nice little feature. He's tick off.
Yeah, like the type of music I personally listen to is like listen to Money Man. I listen to smooth, like I like smooth music.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that's the way to go, but I'm just saying me personally, I like smooth music. Benji be come with the smooth stuff. So I fuck with him. I fuck with the Crip. There's a bunch of guys I could go. So I'm not even gonna name too many names if I forget everybody.
Yo, you already named two hot ones right now. Northside Benji and the Crook. Or some of the two hot young niggas that are like booming.
Devin Tracy, he's sick with it. There's so much guys that are sick with it out the city.
Devin Tracy too. Devin Tracy got the voice. You know what I mean? I feel like there's so many artists. It's like, damn, everybody's just competing. Everybody's trying to be like, oh, who's gonna make it? Who's gonna be the top nigga? Who's gonna be, you know what I mean?
I need to realize that it's like it's exactly. I'm glad, and you said it right there too. It's like, yo, if we come together, we will take off. That's the problem. Guys need to stop trying to worry about being the guy. Yeah. Just get your little shine first. Get your little buzz first. Worry about being the guy after. So come together, do what you guys got to do. Fuck the politics and just make it out first. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got so much we can do. We got so much talent.
Facts. I wish it was that easy.
I understand I can't talk on certain situations because I know it's crazy, but at the same time, it's like, it's your career now. Like, you're gonna spend your life stuck in Canada because, like, we did the event in Atlanta. There was so much guys that couldn't come to the city because you got charges and all types of things. Where it's like, are you gonna finally take your life more serious, or are you gonna rent a block that might not even love you? Like
Yeah,
you
black
love
these
your
black
block
these,
so
yo
hard.
these black don't love you, my nigga. You don't even know own no land. You don't even know have no equity in that block. You even take out money in
That's
that
what I'm
block.
saying. Like you can have all this love, and I rate it, but it's like
Nah,
I hope
bro.
they love you too. You see what I'm saying? It's
Nah,
like
bro. If I was in that block, bro, I find out where these condos they building. Damn, how can I get a pre-construction? Yo, all these blocks they building condos like crazy. These young niggas need to go and get a pre-construction condo. That's what they need to do. You know, at least you own
man,
a
like
piece of that block.
me being black on top of it, it's like I don't want to see another brother go. Like I don't want to see another man go to jail. It's like I know it's deep. I know guys have dropped and stuff like that, but like let's just make it out, man. Let's just make it out.
Yo, facts. Say less. I got two more questions for you, and I'm gonna let you because I know you're a busy man. You're in the studio, and I keep hearing music in the background. So what I want to ask you, like, uh, to maintain your success in your career, right? How much time do you dedicate towards your work? How much time do you feel like you have to be dedicated to be a manager or A&R or your music business that you're currently doing? How much time do you give that?
Here's the thing. Almost back to what I was saying before. If you love it, it doesn't feel like work,
Yeah.
and the more time you're gonna put into it, everything I do almost is work orientated. I
Yeah.
don't go to the club because I want to party and go to the club no more at this point. Like I've been doing that for 10 years. I find if I'm gonna keep it 100, I find zero like excitement going to a nightclub. Like if I'm not in
It
a
feels like
country
work.
yeah, like if I'm not in a country that I've never seen before, I'm like, okay, I'm experiencing their nightlife. It's a
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
facts.
But
Facts.
like other than that, do I find a thrill going to nightclub and stuff like that? Oh man, I find. But why do I go? To build a network, to connect with a DJ, to connect with a venue owner. If I got an artist and I want to do a tour, and I got all these venues, and I'm cool with different owners, who's gonna put up the bag for my artist?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Who's gonna have the proper promoters for that venue so that when I come to that city, they already got the promoters. This shit's already sold out. My artist is the cherry on top now. You
Facts.
see what I'm saying?
That's how you like. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm putting them on a popping night. They're already sold out every Friday. Boom, let's just throw the artist on, make it the cherry on top. Now it looks like it's a whole thing, but realistically, they were already jumping.
They were
But
already jumping.
now it's good footage, it's good market material, it's good everything now. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't do half the things I do. It's not necessarily because I'm necessarily just gonna go do it. It's just it doesn't feel as much like work.
Yeah.
And it is for work though. Literally everything I do is work related. If I'm not sleeping, it's work related.
Facts, facts. You're definitely right. One more question
Yeah.
I have for you before I didn't want to miss that question because I find that question is like it's something I like to ask my guests. I find that throughout the whole COVID, even before COVID, a lot of people is dealing with mental health, especially in the Black community, but it's not talked about. People deal with depression, anxiety, you know what I mean, trauma and things like that. So how you deal with that? How have you
Freezing
have
a little
you?
bit.
Hmm?
I don't know if it's me. So you're
What?
freezing a little bit. Okay, yeah, I got you now.
Yeah. So, do you feel that mental health is a topic like we should talk about more? People should be able to express themselves, especially as us Black men. I feel like us Black men don't talk about mental health and us dealing with trauma and anxiety and us not knowing what's gonna happen next. How we've been working hard, but nothing. We're not seeing any progress. But we like, if we know, we put ourselves down a lot. So how do you deal with that?
Touching on that part, I touched on it kind of before where I'm like, I don't expect anyone at all to necessarily think the way I do, just
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm, to be honest, built a little different when it comes to that because
Yeah.
I dealt with so much people and I see how certain people react to certain stress and like certain things that wouldn't bother me or maybe bothering someone or
Yeah.
certain things that would bother me aren't bothering someone. So it's like everyone comes from different backgrounds. Everyone comes from different atmospheres. And it's like you can't necessarily, I don't personally judge no one for nothing that they do because it's like you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
So it's like me being around such high volumes of people and dealing with so much different people, I understand that everyone has their life story. Some people got some fucked up stories. Some people got really great stories, but it's like those little things kind of build who someone is.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that mental health thing, it's one of the most important. Like if you're, and that's what it comes down to, even people that I want to work with, because it's like
You gotta make
you
sure.
don't
Yeah.
have your head in the right place, then it's that's what made me start working with like I said, there's a guy who I wasn't managing, but when I was like 18, that's realistically what, like, I still got mad love for him, but that's realistically what made his even career go for a left, because like his mental health just wasn't intact. You know, he started doing drugs, he got caught up in certain things, whatever the case is. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's just like, damn, like that mental health thing is really, really, it's probably one of the most important with anything in life, because there's gonna be
Facts.
so much times where you might feel discouraged and you just might not feel for it. But it's like if you got that mental health behind you, or you got people that love you, or people that are rooting you on, or whatever the case is, just sometimes all it takes is that, you know, just one person to just tell you something that you needed to hear. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, that mental health thing is probably number one in anything in life, athlete especially. Like, it's the mental before the physical when being an athlete, for sure. Like, how many days can you say, no, I'm not going out, I'm in the gym shooting free throws? Or how much times can you say I'm going out and doing laps? And like, it's mental before anything. So
You definitely right on that. Just to finish this interview or podcast, I really appreciate you coming. You know what I mean? I know you're a busy guy. I've been trying to get a hold of you. Niggas had to quarantine for like 14 for whole months and shit. Like, damn, I can't get a hold of this nigga.
all right, man. Here, I told you, man, I had to make sure, man. You before anybody, man.
Yo, it's all love. I appreciate you, bro. Cause one thing I realized about the city, bro, cause I don't know too many niggas. I like to work with niggas I already built some type of relationship with. Cause sometimes when I build relationship with people, and I start hearing some background information about them, I'm like, damn, I didn't even know shit about this nigga like that. I didn't know this nigga was a clown.
It don't be like that sometimes.
It be like that, bro. There's a lot of clown motherfuckers in the city. Like people will try to take advantage of you and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Damn, yo, I just be trying to connect with niggas, but niggas be clowning sometimes, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm learning a lot about this business. That's why I like the fact that you got your little team. It's just me and my wife, bro. So I like trying to connect with new people. It's hard, bro. It's like I built with you to like the parties. I've been seeing you doing your parties. I come out to your parties and we connect as well at your party. Brought my people out there as well. So I kind of build a relationship with you before COVID, you know? But like trying to build relationships now, it's like you gotta do background checks on niggas before you do it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That's for
I'm
real.
telling you, in the city, bro, you gotta do background checks because the niggas got a lot of fucking skeletons in their closets and shit. Because you start aligning yourself with certain niggas, and next minute you ain't, oh, this nigga, this person dirty. He did, yo, man, watch your back. I'm like, what the fuck?
I ain't gonna lie though, it's like that everywhere. It's like that
I feel
everywhere.
you. I feel like you just really gotta connect with somebody. You never know. You just never know. Like you just
And
never
the thing
know.
is, it's like certain people, it sucks because it's like you really never know until you mess with the person. Because one person's experience, like you always got to get two sides to a story. Because one person's experience might be like I've had people say bad things about certain people, and when I go mess with them, it's like it's nothing but love.
It's
So
it's
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 like
facts. It's
and they
facts.
showing and they moving like they would never cross me. So it's like it's hard, man.
It's
Really,
hard. It's hard, bro. It's
yeah,
hard.
it's
It's a
hard.
hard
It's
business.
hard.
It's hard business to be in. It's why like I keep my guards up and shit. That's to fuck around with too many people out here. But yeah, my last question I was gonna ask you, just to follow up on this whole mental health shit, right? I was gonna ask you what, like everybody that's probably watching this right now, what advice would you like to share with them, with your supporters, people that's been supporting you, or even anybody that's watching this right now, on how to keep going? Because right now you going, you went to Atlanta, you still doing parties, you did a party there, you coming back now, you're about to go to Dubai, you're managing artists, you open up a recording studio, like you still going, you know, nothing's stopping you. Even like pretty much your whole world got stopped, you feel me? It's like you really just switched up the switch and kept going. So what kept you going and staying positive throughout this whole thing? And what advice would you tell everyone to stay positive?
Okay, so before the advice, I would just say I ain't going. Yeah, like I'm not gonna let nothing shake me up in a sense to where, and if it does shake me up, like I come from a competitive background. Like I used to play real competitive soccer in high school. I was an athlete growing up, et cetera, et cetera. So like I feel like having an athlete's mentality is like when you get a challenge, you want to win that much more. It's like when we played soccer against the shitty teams, it's like we started playing shitty because it's like we still might have won, but it's like we almost adapted to their playing style because it's like you weren't taking it that serious because you're like, okay, we're gonna slap these guys. So I feel like me personally, when I get a challenge, it makes me go a little bit harder just because I like that drive. Like I got that athlete's mentality. But if it's advice I'm gonna give to somebody else, you got to find either the person that makes you happiest or the thing that makes you happiest. And whenever you're in that bad sense of mind or that bad vibe or whatever it is, you're a little discouraged or unmotivated, like you got to remind yourself why you're doing it and then go to that piece. Whether that piece, it could be something as simple as playing a sport. It might not even be with what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's like just to put yourself back into peace is so important because like I could speak from coming firsthand. Like I got myself caught up in shit when I was young and I'm around different guys and doing different things. And it's like the more negative stuff you do or bring around you, it's just more that's gonna follow. But if you're in a peaceful mind state and like you're just feeling good about yourself, you're waking up feeling good or whatever the case is, the good is just gonna come. I've real quick actually, I even have a story where it's like your aura speaks so loudly. One time, real quick, I was in Florida. I'll make this story short. I was leaving a breakfast restaurant. I was walking by the guy. He had an aura to him. I didn't know he had no jewelry, no nothing that gave him away that he was anybody. I'm walking by him, and then this is a story I tell a lot of people because it's like that right there says so much about you, and just the way you present yourself could get you into doors. Yeah. So it's like he had nothing that gave him away. No designer clothing, no jewelry, no nothing. He was older. He was black too. He looked probably like he was probably young. He was probably older than he even looked.
Yeah.
But he looked like he could have been at least in his 40s, whatever the case is. I'm walking by, I'm leaving. As I'm leaving, there's a woman walking behind me. She's like, oh my God, it's such an honor to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. She's talking to the guy, but like, I'm leaving the breakfast restaurant at this point. But like, I got to catch that interaction. So I'm like, oh wow, he really was somebody. Yeah, and just that of him not speaking, him not saying nothing, him not looking anything. He was wearing regular clothes. I couldn't point out one piece of clothing he was wearing, but like just his aura and just his posture and just the way he carried himself, that automatically like almost had me go speak to him. And imagine now I spoke to him, imagine something came out of that conversation. That would have came strictly off of his aura, nothing else.
Wow.
So it's like just having that good mental and just having that good vibe and welcoming good vibes and welcoming good energy and good people into your life. You got to do that. So when you find your peace, just always resort back to that. I think that's going to put you back in that positive mind state. Yeah. That's going to keep you going. Whatever it is, it could be a person, it could be a hobby, it could be anything. Whatever it is though, find it, try to know what it is. And once you have that, because when you have a dream to work towards, it's a lot better than just working towards being rich. Being rich, you can do that any way. You could sell scissors. Like the person who made these scissor brand, what is this? This is stainless steel. I don't see no company on it, but I mean, the person who made this probably made a bunch of money from it. So it's like, You could do anything, but you don't want to look at just being rich. You got to have a dream attached to it, because as you're fulfilling your dream, as you go along, it's going to bring you the sense of peace, the freedom of mind, the fact of knowing that you're accomplishing what you want. You're not just getting a tangible product.
Facts. That was some good advice you just dropped, bro. You might as well be a pastor too, bro. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming to the podcast. Let the people know if you got anything coming soon, like music, artists that you're working with, or where they could find you to connect with you. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm a guy who likes just letting everything speak for itself, but some stuff coming up, I'd say, I just want everyone to see what's going on. I don't know. One thing I do believe in is like jinxing myself. Sometimes I'm like, I didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But it's like, no, there's definitely a lot coming. I'm always on it. I don't stop pre-planning. But it's like, other than that, North Division, everyone know that name ain't going nowhere. Yeah. One who's not familiar, stay familiar, North Division. So.
I say less, bro. I really appreciate you coming too, bro. I thank you for like supporting the movement. I support you as well. Let's keep this network going. I want the people to know who you are, because I feel like, it's like there's greatness in you. I feel like, this guy about to be the next Diddy or something one day. Let me try to like put the spotlight in this young nigga, man. Like, I like to give people their flowers while they're alive. That's the type of nigga I am. I don't wait till niggas die. I be like, oh man, R.I.P. He was a good guy. Nah, nigga. I see you doing your thing, bro. Here's your flowers. No homo.
Oh, man. We need more like that in the city.
It's all love, bro.
So it's love, man.
It's all love, bro. Stay up, my nigga.
All right, man. Love. Thank you for having me. Up next. Shout out to Up Next. One of the hottest blogs in the city. One of my
Say less.
In the city.
Easy, bro. We'll connect, all right?
Yep.
Easy.